everyone, welcome back to Creekside Homestead, Alaska. If you're new here, my name is Karen. Sean's behind the camera. And today I needed to come up and get a few things out of our pantry. So I figured we haven't shown you guys a pantry tour yet in our small but efficient space that we have here. So I figured today would be a good day to do that. Now, ow. As you can see, short ceiling, but hey, work with what you got. So this is our main storage space. We actually have about two of them in the house, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this is our main storage area for all of our canned goods. And as of last week, I was storing all of these in just the cases that you get your cans in or your jars in. So we just had these all lined up on here and it looked really full. And then I wanted to take them out and line them up here. We have these, Sean just put these up, this trim up, before we had them in these cases because in case of earthquakes, which we get quite frequently here in Alaska, I didn't want all my jars falling off. So he just last week, actually just a couple of days ago, took some time out and put this trim up on all of these so that I could take all the jars out and actually see exactly where I'm at. And I am telling you what, it pretty much doubled the space that I have for jars. So I have a ton more space than I thought. I think roughly before we were holding around, I don't know, probably between about 400, 450 jars. And Sean did the math and I can now hold about 880 jars up here, which is just absolutely insane. So my goal of having 1,000 jars out here is going to be attainable. And I'm super excited about that because as you saw in one of our last videos, one of my goals this year is to try and pretty much double our harvest from the garden. And now I have plenty of room to put stuff in. So I'm really, really excited. So I will show you guys, I will show you guys just how much we have. We'll start up here. And this is where I store all of our tomato sauce and broths. And these are our meal in a jars. And I usually keep those in quart jars. And I've got chili and I've got, this is beef stew, moose stew. I do that all the time. This is moose stew. And then this is going to be ham and bean soup. Easter's coming up. And so that'll be a row of ham and bean soup. And then I'm going to do a black bean soup. That's going to go right here. And then all of our tomato sauce from our wonderful tomato harvest over the summer. And then this is where I keep all my broths. So I've got, this is all chicken broth. I don't know if you guys can see way back here, but I've got 4 rows of chicken broth. This is French onion soup mix, but once that goes away, I'm going to be doing a round of beef broth, so that'll go there. So that's that shelf. And then this next one is what I call my protein shelf. And we've got chicken here, which I need one of these. So I'm going to put that there. So this is our canned chicken, and this is from our chickens that we culled over I think it was in the fall. This is moose stew meat. And I'm pretty sure you've seen me mention this before, but this stuff is so good over mashed potatoes. I'm telling you what, it's just one of my favorites. Okay, so I have an extra row for that. This is our canned salmon, just regular salmon from our epic fishing trip that we do every year in July. So we've got lots of salmon. This is all smoked salmon. This is regular salmon. And in a few months, we're going to be going fishing again And I still have quite a lot of fillets in the freezer. So I'm going to be doing another round of regular salmon, because I try not to keep frozen salmon too long in the freezer. We don't like to go past a year on that. And so starting here, we have our beans, and it goes all the way down to the very end. So lots of protein, a lot more than we thought we had, which is really nice. Pinto beans are here, and I obviously need to do another round of those. We go through those quite a bit. These are our black beans, and I'm going to do another round of those because we usually have beans probably once, twice a week. So we go through those quite a bit. These are white northern beans, kidney beans, lima beans, and black-eyed peas, which we love. So that's our protein shelf. This next shelf is what's going to be a huge canning project for me this year. I want this all filled up with vegetables. So starting here, this is all cowboy candy in this case right here. As you can see, I still need to do some organizing, but this is all cowboy candy. More cowboy candy. Oh, yeah, that's cowboy candy. And then there's some bruschetta in a jar, which is really actually quite good, surprisingly. Down here is our diced tomatoes, green beans, salsa right here, carrots, and our mixed greens, which I still have a bunch of these in the freezer. Bags, I think I have 6 or 7 gallon bags still. So I'm going to be doing another round of those here probably in the next week or so, because we go through quite a bit of these. That's that shelf. Next shelf down is going to be, actually the next 2 will be our condiments. Because if you've followed us and seen any of our other videos, you'll know that we absolutely, well, yes, but Sean loves condiments. So this will all be condiments, and then this bottom one will probably most likely be condiments as well. But starting here is our ketchup that we just made. And if you didn't watch that video and you love ketchup, I highly suggest you try this recipe. It is so good. And it tastes like one of the brand names off the shelf.
Not the crappy one, though.
Here is our pear relish family recipe that we make every year. This year we are going to make sure that we probably triple the amount of pear relish that we end up canning throughout the year. Just finding pears that are hard enough to use is what our issue is. Wish I could grow a pear tree up here, but that ain't happening. So we go through this stuff a ton. So that's there. This will be zucchini relish. I've only got 1 jar left. So that'll be really good timing. Well, hello there.
Somebody's wanting attention.
Okay. Okay. Can I finish? Okay. All right. And then here we have beets, and we are getting pretty low on those, so need to get those beets going if Mother Nature would cooperate with us. Hopefully soon I can get beets started. Here is our dilly carrots. These actually turned out really good. And these are from 2022, and we're still eating on them. So I'll be doing another round of those this year because we're down to our last 2. And I also want to do some dilly green beans from hopefully our huge harvest that we're going to have of green beans this year. These are pickled red onions. These are really good on hot dogs, brats. This is one of my favorites, sweet and sour cabbage. Stuff is so good. I love it. And then this is a coleslaw mix. This was kind of an experiment. Didn't know how this was going to turn out. And surprisingly, this turned out really good. Literally all you do is drain this, add mayonnaise to it because it's vinegar based. So it has everything in it that you would have in coleslaw. Mix it with mayonnaise, adjust the seasonings if you want more pepper or whatever in it. And that's it. It's such a quick side dish. It's so good. And then these are our jalapenos. And I still have, I think, 3-gallon bags in our freezer. So I'm going to do another round of those before our next harvest. And then these are pickles. We are dangerously low on pickles. We are down to 2 pints, and that is just not acceptable in Sean's world. So I need to go get a bag of cucumbers, pickling cucumbers from Costco, and get another round going because we're definitely not going to make it until our cucumbers. I mean, that's what, July, August. So yeah, so that is going to be a must have to happen in the next probably week or so. So that's that shelf. And then down here, and my goal for down all this stuff, these are all of our jams and jellies, and then a case of juice. And I'm going to end up putting it, no, you can't see it right now, but I'm going to end up putting that over here on against the wall because this is just stuff we don't use a whole lot of, and we've got plenty still in the house of all of our jams. So I kind of want this out of the way so that I have space for other things that we use more frequently. But for now, down here this is cranberry juice, and then this is, smaller ones are cranberry lemonade concentrate. It's so good in the summer. And this is our Christmas jam, more jams, fig apple jam, and then our mixed berry dazzle pepper jam, which is one of Sean's favorites. Fig apple jam is one of my favorites. And then I've got a case of pear butter that we're still working through. This stuff is really good on toast. And that's it for in here. Okay, so we're on the back side of the pantry shelves. And just to show you guys real quick, we also store a bunch of our dry goods up here. Again, we have, our working, what we work from in the house. But up here we have flour, sugar, rice. Our emergency food supply is back there. We try to keep a couple of those on hand at all times, especially where we're at. You just never know. We could get stranded for weeks. And we just want to make sure we have plenty to get us by. In that bin there is all of our dried beans. They are stored in Mylar bags, so they keep for years. And I just pull from them when I'm ready to can a new batch of beans. And then on this shelving unit is just extra. Let's see, we've got a bunch more tomato products that we keep in bulk. Same here, just a bunch of stuff that we keep on hand from Costco, extras. Some sugar. And then up here is all of our freeze-dried products that we like to keep on hand. And then behind me is our very last bag of onions. So I'll be growing probably double the amount of onions because we figured we harvested them in September, actually late September. No, we started them before we left. So that would have been early September. Not started, harvested. We harvested them in early September, and we're now mid-March. So that's this. I just took a bag in yesterday, and then this is our last bag hanging out here. So I think we might be able to get through till maybe the end of April, but I don't know. We go through a lot of onions. So I'll be growing probably almost double the amount of onions to make sure we get through a year. And that's really my goal. I'm really trying to push to where we can get, have about a year's worth stored up. That's where we would like to be. But yeah, so that's it for here. Okay, so I didn't so I didn't show you what was in these buckets, and that's because they're empty. This is what we hold our water glass eggs in, and we've already gone through them all. So we're going to double up on these as well. We're going to get 2 more of these food grade buckets, and we're going to, hopefully, our chicks will lay plenty to where we can fill those up and add 2 more to that. So that should get us through the winter for those. That's it. That's it for storage up here. And then I'll take you guys in the house and I'll show you what our working pantry, which is where we take from here, put into our working pantry. And then we're going to give River a little bit of attention because obviously she needs something. So, all right, now we are upstairs in our house, and this is another place that we store canned goods. And this is what I usually call my Costco overflow. So in here we just keep, as you can see, got apple cider vinegar and just different things. Tuna, some peanut butter, mustard, that store-bought brand that I was mentioning earlier of ketchup, pastas down here, vinegar, store-bought canned goods. Here we got peas. We don't eat a lot of peas, so I usually just keep a couple cases on hand. I am gonna try growing them this year and canning our own. And I love sweet peas. I don't know why we don't eat them more, but tomatoes, sauce, diced tomatoes, more of those big cans. And then back here in this bottom bin is more dried beans and then some rice that we bought. I think we bought a 50-pound bag a while ago, and then we just seal them up in Mylar bags and they're good to go for quite a while. So that's another area that we have available to store things. Again, when you have small spaces, you just use what you got. All right, final storage place. And these are my working pantries. So this is what I come to multiple times a day. And then I'll go, I call it go grocery shopping up in the loft when I need to refill. As you can see, we love, love, love spices. So that's what these 2 shelves are dedicated to. And I'm not gonna go through all the spices that we have, but we pretty much have everything you can think of. Pretty sure. So those are there. And then all the canned goods that you saw up in the loft, this is where it's all at. And then this is where I also put the Costco stuff that I just showed you upstairs in the mezzanine. I'll store the daily stuff here. And so yeah, that's that. And then And this one is pretty much more the same. This is where all the jams and jellies go. More canned goods. And I can tell I'm getting low, so I need to get this filled up. And see, we have some canned like peas and carrots. This onesie twosie stuff I'll just get from the grocery store and add to it. But down here is all of our pickled stuff. And then on the bottom two shelves, so on these bottom two, this is my, what I call my baking and my fruit shelf, and it is pretty bare, so it's time to get that filled up. And then down here is just miscellaneous stuff. We've got our homemade vanilla extract, and I've got tons of it, so I shouldn't need to make this for probably a couple years. This lasts forever. And then I've got some pickling stuff back here. It's where we store our coffee. This area stays very, very cool, so I think it's the perfect temperature to store stuff. And so that's pretty much it. That's how we store stuff. I do have another closet that I store all the flour and sugar that I use daily, but it's a hot mess, so I'm not going to show you that closet today. But I keep all the dry stuff in there. But that's about it. That's how we store what we preserve on a small scale, I guess you would say. But so anybody can do it. You don't have to can. Buy a few cans at a time from the grocery store, a few extra, and just start stockpiling. That way, if you do have an emergency, whether it be financial, whether it be stranded, any number of reasons, you always have a little bit of stock on hand to get you through for at least a few days. We are blessed enough to where we've been working at this for quite a few years, to where if something should happen, at least that's one thing we don't have to worry about. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.